Let's talk about ballistics and chokes in general. Now I've got some chokes here. I've got this one here, fits a Benelli mobile choke. Also fits Stoeger P350 pump. This is a Browning choke. This one's for 10 gauge. This is a Carlson's choke tube, mid-range goose tube for 12 gauge. And this is an SRM Terror tube for 10 gauge Browning. Now take a look at how thick this is compared with the 12 gauge choke. See, it's a lot beefier. Now, you're not supposed to fire really big pellets through a modified choke. Definitely not through a full choke. But with this 10 gauge choke, it's built so sturdy, it really doesn't matter. I've shot F-shot through this, and this is tighter than a turkey choke. It's made for steel shot. The reason I'm doing this video is because I've been asked a couple times at least about what kind of choke I'm using in my 10 gauge. Well, this is it right here. Terror tube .720, 10 gauge Browning Vector. Now, first shot we're going to do is with modified choke for 10 gauge, which is what you would normally use for your long goose shots. It's a factory choke, so it's flush. By the way, whenever you install a choke, make sure that the action is open. You don't want the gun to fire when you're trying to change the choke. Fairly new firearm. Bought this thing about 3 years ago. Browning BPS 10 gauge. However, I have my old barrel off my 1993 model. I call it the magic barrel because I've killed more geese with it than anything else. And that's what I'm going to use. This is 30 yards, which is just barely approaching past shooting range for 10 gauge. Guess I should load the weapon. These are BBs, of course. As you can see here, this would be a very extremely dead goose. Lots of BB hits. And I have killed a lot of geese with that pattern. Next, we're going to use the Terror tube choke. Okay, as you can see, I lifted a little bit, I hit a little bit high, but this would be a much deader goose at 30 yards. Where the choke really shines is at long range. The next test is the field test, one on an actual bird. Well, that one's getting down in the water. Shit. Figures. Wait. Oh, it might be over here. Yep, he's dead. Ooh. He's dead. He's mine. Oh, that's a big heavy one. Yep. Well, I got this bird. I didn't think I was going to be able to get it. But look at how long and skinny these wings are. Wow. Big heavy bird, but I bet it was a liver shot, judging by how it went down, but we'll see. It's got a little red spot here in the chest, so we'll see what it was. Okay, here you can see that on this goose we've got multiple hits. One there, there, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right in the center, and then there's one right there, and it looks like there's one up here. So, which should have caused multiple organ failure, I would say. Which this goose flew a little ways, and then it just dropped out of the sky. You can see there's actually 4 holes in the heart. And one, I think, is a through and through. This is a constrictor type choke. In other words, it's based on constriction. It doesn't have any wad stoppers in it or anything like that. But anyway, here I've got an ultra high velocity 5-shot swatter load. We'll see what that does through the terror tube at 30 yards. You can see the pattern is bigger because it was such a high speed load, but it's relatively consistent. I definitely would have done some damage. So to summarize, this choke really shines at long range. And I'm not paid to endorse the product, but I would, and I do. It works well for me. They charge about $90 for it, but it's well worth the investment. It's definitely a goose killer. And one thing about it though, with the tight center of the pattern, when I first got it I was missing. I had to learn to be a better shot in order to hit anything. because it does have such a tight pattern. But I've bagged everything from quail to geese with it. You have to be kind of careful with the quail. Kind of let them get out there a ways before you shoot them. It works great with all shot sizes. I've even shot as big as F through it. It's thick enough in 10 gauge that you can get away with it. And the smaller gauges, they recommend limiting the shot size. But it's well worth the investment. It's a great choke, and I swear by it. Oh yeah, the other thing is shot string. There's a lot of hype about shot string. It's not really as important as people think it is. I know a lot of chokes base their entire product line on the idea of shortening the shot string. A study was done a long time ago where someone drove a truck with a pattern board on it, like 40 miles an hour or something, and someone shot at it. I think he had his wife shoot at it, or he shot at it and she drove. Anyway, all it did was made the pattern slightly more oval. So the idea of a bird flying into a pattern, the pattern's going to be there or it's not. You only got probably 8, maybe 10 inches there of difference. So I don't worry about shot string. There's nothing wrong with those chokes. A lot of people swear by them. But I'm sticking to what I'm using because it's killing birds and it's doing a good job. And I hope you enjoy this video, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for your time.